So we're Steph and John, and welcome to Real Renos.
This is the Real series where we take you on our own renovation journey in real time.
It's been a while since we've sat with you on this couch. It is a different couch. We're in a different space. I'm no longer pregnant.
Yes, I would say we're back, but we actually realized we haven't put out the final episode of this series.
Yeah, so we want to take you through on a walkthrough of that, show you what we've, been up to from then till now.
And how all the different spaces have been used.
Yes, and we, of course, are going to show you our little Aria. Okay, I can't believe we're actually here. I mean, I was looking forward to pouring our front porch more than anything, to be honest, because every single time we walked into this house before, from the moment we bought it, there was mud.
Yeah, and there were multiple steps up even before we renovated. Yes. We envisioned ourselves using this porch a lot in the afternoons, and we are definitely doing that. The sun's starting to hit, it gets even more in the late arvo as well.
It's really beautiful. I've definitely become that person that sits at their porch.
And everyone has a yarn with us. Everyone has a chat with us in the afternoon. They ask, your house looks so beautiful. How's the baby?
It's true. It's lovely.
Nice.
Community, love it. We have a double of some stepping stones into our front porch. Our front porch, we have done this amazing marble, which I love the way that we've done it. We've done it in a tessellated sort of look, but they're actually sheets. And what I love the most is that they weren't individually cut on site. They actually were bought in this way and they're assembled. And then we created this beautiful border around with this travertine tile too.
There is a funny backstory about the tessellated tiles too. They did come with another check that's not light. She didn't want it in the color palette. So we actually made the tilers take out that individual check and place it with a color that suited the rest of the tile.
Yes, we actually ended up buying more tiles so I can fix that up a bit. We can show you how we did that. Of course, our garden has been super well established. Silver Spade did an incredible job. We have irrigation as well, so that really does help for when we're not, able to come out and water.
Yes, exactly. And I think the best part about the front yard at the moment is definitely the security door. It's something that we envisioned.
It's not just a security door. It's honestly such a statement piece for the house. It's from All Steel Designs. We designed it together and we basically took the ornamentation and inspiration from the interior doors and we propped it on our front door. But the best part is
it has security mesh, so it lets that breeze come through. It allows this room to finally be used as a mudroom.
Yeah, which we love. It's opening outwards so that you can actually still use this space from a usable perspective.
And why that's important is because we take Aria on a number of walks. That is where that's the pram parking spot.
Yes, and you have to think about that. I mean, the way not to have a cluttered home is to ensure that everything has a space. So, hence, this is the space for the pram. Okay, so we obviously can't not touch on the fact that Fedwood had ornamented our house in many, many ways, but I think even these beautiful columns on either side, they add depth and they add ornamentation to a home that, is quite ornamented on the inside. So to reflect that on the outside, I think was really important. And again, we've done a version of that tile over here and we pretty much made this as well.
We actually made this configuration. There was a lot of labor involved, but we thought it was important to change it up in the mudroom.
Yeah, and I think it's important, and this is, to make people feel allowing themselves to be creative. This tile here is just a regular square, and basically I just took the detail from the porch tile and then I just added it, in between, and I sort of thought, why can't we be creative? This tile doesn't exist, but let's create it ourselves to have a differentiating factor. Step up with Taj Mahal stone, which we use throughout the house.
I think what I like as well about the whole front section is how we've used, obviously, the glass door to let in light that we get from the mudroom.
So similarly to what John sort of said, of course, we have, glass on our front door. We also have a highlight that has glass. Those are all really deliberate and thought out decisions, as well as having a Roman blind in our mudroom to have perforated sort of privacy, but also allow that light to come through. So we come into this space, okay, what do you do in the front space? You've obviously taken your shoes off, so we have a bench, we have a mirror, check yourself out, and then you're out.
If you've been watching this series, you'll know that this front room has been transformed a lot. I'll probably let Steph speak a little bit more about it because she had a lot of...
Oh my god. Welcome to the front room. The front room. I mean, it's a miscellaneous space. It is definitely gonna be like the second kid room, the guest room. It has an ensuite. That's the insinuation of that. But you know, it's the front room. We have a large window. This is our only real timber window as well because we are wanting to connect to the old of the home. Okay, so why would we put a Roman blind? Why would we also put a block out blind? And why would we also put curtains? Because layering is everything, really. So what else do we have? And this is that recurring motif that we have throughout the whole house, and you will sort of see it, but we have that ornamented skirting board, we have the picture rail, we have the cornice, and we have the ceiling rose. Those three things are decorated throughout all the bedrooms, and we've contained it within a rectangular shape. Lighting was super important, a consideration of that fact, of course, because we have that ceiling rose. So a nice pendant, singular, with multiple lights showing up is a way to highlight that space, but not also have like the big light being so prominent. And then of course, when you're wanting a little bit more of that softer light, we have the wall light and then a lamp. And of course, the way that we styled this space, you know, obviously just a chase, some art, you know, one of our rugs. Yes, I have my bike because this is a drop zone, as John calls it. And then just around here is our wardrobe. So outside of this rectangular wall, sort of what I said, is then when we have our utility. So utility being the bathroom on that side and then our wardrobe on this side. So having the depth in this wardrobe here, I think really adds to not cluttering this sort of space. And then I actually have a material change here from these 4 walls to carpet. And you'll notice that I do that from every single room in this house from a utility addition perspective. I change the materiality of the floor, whether it's in the form of a tile or in a form of a carpet. John is in the bathroom.
I thought I'd find you there. If you remember this renovation, this is literally where the fireplace used to be. A lot of dead space, cut off both bathrooms. And for us, the big thing about this reno was practicality and designing smart. And we've really done that. We've kept the chimney, so from the streetscape, it's unaffected, but we've actually got 2 beams that brace it, and it allowed us to basically implement an ensuite to service bedroom 1 and bedroom 2. And we've done that, and we've had a bit of fun with it. Had a bit of fun with the tile choices. You can see on the floor, we've got the checkerboard tile that, again, we custom made, and we've got a lot of smart. You take my kitchen, and you remember that we used engineered stone. For all the new bathrooms, we definitely wanted to use different natural materials, natural stone, and we did that in all different types of configurations. We use it on our bench top, in our vanity, and even on the bench within the shower. My favourite part about all of our bathrooms is that we've actually been able to create a hob and we can bring it as a bathroom. So while they're a little bit more modern than the rest of the home, we've made sure that we've considered that ornamentation with the door frames and all the door jambs. But because we're going to be smart with the design, we've used cavity sliders in here. So you basically connect bedroom 1 to bedroom 2 with the ensuite. So now we enter Ilaria's room. Ilaria's room is, we've spent so much time in here. So many little bits and bobs, so many flat packs have been assembled. And honestly, this room, there's been so many memories made already. There is this rocking chair, which I'm telling you is more comfortable than 99% of the beds on the market, and we own a bedding company. That's a fact. I've fallen asleep on this so many times. It literally reclines, it inclines. This is from Il Tutto. You can charge your phone. I've fallen asleep watching so many footy games on here. It's amazing. But I guess what I did want to highlight, and something that I know Steph's going to speak about as well, is the flooring choice that we've used across the renovation. We've used real floorboards within the original part of the home, but where we renovated out, or laterally, as people would want to understand it, we've used carpet. Now, it's nice, soft, bit of a different feel on the feet, and again, we've used a lot of natural light in this renovation, something that the house lacked. We've got, I think it's like 12 or 14 skylights across this whole house. And as you can see, it makes such a difference. We've paired that with a lot of wall sconces and lamps. And obviously we've got that pendant light that shines up. So we get so much light, and that's probably one of my favorite features across the whole house.
It's me again. So John did a really good job of talking about the flooring.
Steph.
So we're in this hallway space now. We've got wall lighting. Remember, we've spoken about wall lighting. We've got in these two sort of areas on this side, we have the pendants, and then in between we have the wall lights. They're definitely the lights we have on the most. Remember, you never use the big light unless it's, you know, to find something. Beautiful ornamented arches. We restored these, and I'm so glad that John really worked really hard with this guy he found. I don't even know where from, but he was like this really cool dude. I feel like it's an art that's sort of lost now, and you know, not many people do it. So it's been really beautiful that we've restored them. One of my other favorite features in this hallway space is the fact that we did cathedral this middle section. We added a skylight, and you can see a peep into the attic space up there. And I think what's really nice is, as you're walking through, there's the addition of, you know, these balustrades up there is like the nod of there's something more to this house than just what it appears. And I think that is like what I wanted to say in this sort of space. And then having that skylight mirroring that, the balustrade there basically opens up the attic for crossflow ventilation when you're up there. All right, so we walk through, we've got another drop zone area, but of course, like, I mean, how do I think to style these spaces? I don't know, it's sort of just like things and bits and bobs that I have, and art and books and photo frames. But I'll take you into the master now. One of the best parts about this master is the fact that when you walk into the space where the door hinges is actually the wardrobe. Now you need a his and a hers in a master, so this is the his. And I think, you know, again, when we're talking about those rectangular rooms, when you're speaking about those junctions outside of those rectangular rooms, that's utility. And we didn't want it to feel bulky into the space, let alone have a his and a hers. So the way in which we did that is we added the hers this way. But walk on through. So of course, you know, we do pass the bed. Of course, it's Japandi estate. We have an elongated bed head. You know, I don't know. It's my favorite bed head at the moment. You know, we're constantly designing new ones, but I feel like this has got to be one of my faves. I love how offset it. Added the big side table to my side, of course. And you know, okay, yes. Why have we added a curtain in the middle of the room? I hear these questions. Look, to be honest, it softens the space where we've done the same thing for all of the rooms, whether it's a window or a door. You know, you've got that window with an architrave, and you've got the Roman blind, but you've got the curtain as the third layer. So, of course, because you have a block out. So I think doing that at this point here really does make this room super, super cozy. Now, of course, we've got our ladder down here for the attic, which will take you up, but most of the time that's obviously not down. We do have a TV in our room. John and I have, you know, spoken about that, TV or no TV. You won the battle. Okay, so then we walk into this hers area. We have that softened curve, right? Imagine if this was like a really tight junction here. I feel like it would feel really different. Similarly for this joinery piece. Like, adding curves for the sake of curves is like a big no-no for me. And I think it's such a trend at the moment. But why don't we add curves for actually softening a space to be able to walk through a space, you know, better? That's why you add a curve, right? So that's what we did here, and it's then translated into the living room, which is a beautiful detail. But it's for that, first and foremost. This is the hers side. It's perfect, I feel, because I also have my bench here, which is my makeup desk. I have natural light coming through and up above, Velux. I mean, come on. Yes. All of our blinds, we do get a lot of this. They're from DIY. They're custom, so you can just like message them about that. They are soft Romans, I think, and they've been pinched, which is like such a beautiful little detail. They always, for me, end in that middle bar area. So these windows are from our spec and installed by Capital Windows, and that hides that bar. So it's an intentional drop that I always have it at that point. And yeah, onto the bathroom, which is just on the other side of this wall. Again, we definitely have utilized our cavity sliders, pocket doors, whatever you want to call them. We walk into this space. And I think, yeah, like we definitely have, you know, a similar energy to what was in the Jack and Jill bathroom, but it's a little bit more elevated. We're in the master. So we have this beautiful Taj Mahal bench top from Constantino, and we've got this nice splashback all the way around. We've got the joinery that sits underneath. Ample storage is what you want in a bathroom. Beautiful micro cement and travertine lights that match our tiles from Tile Cloud to basically highlight that movement and texture. Wall lighting. A heat lamp for me is super important, so that stands alone as well as one drop light over the sink for when you're at the mirror. And then, as John said, we've created these beautiful portals, entry portals, and the hob to enter every single shower. There is nothing better than walking out of a shower and it not having all these splashes everywhere. So I do love a hob, and it is a traditional aspect in a modern sort of house. And then in this room here is all of our wet zones. So we've basically got the shower, and we've got the bath, and we've got a skylight and the fan all in this wet zone. We've got that beautiful curved wall that we actually had in Ilaria's room, and that's softened and followed the geometry of the bath in this space. Yeah, it's actually a really beautiful, you know, wet room. I feel the tiles, you know, when you're dealing with a curve, you almost always think that you need to do a mosaic or a, you know, Kit Kat sort of tile. I don't know. It's not really my favorite. So working with Tile Cloud on creating a pattern like this, again, encouraging everyone to take a tile, cut it up, and see what you can do with it. These tiles are not in this way. Each of these tiles, the long tile is the way that it is, but the beautiful caramel tile is actually a long tile as well, and I've cut it all up and I've created that pattern. So yeah, I've really enjoyed playing around with Tile Cloud's amazing selection. So the other way we use this space is, of course, the attic space. Now, it's actually our study, and for us it was important to be entered through our master because it's our study. So John will take you up there.
So this is our not so attic. It's probably more of a study, and we were very intentional in doing this. As you can see, we wanted this to be our home study retreat area. We know a lot of people that go up when they're doing renovation and just making storage, but when we worked out the levels that we were able to have, I mean, look, I'm short, but I'm standing here, and this light, it just gets so much natural light. So I work from home probably 1 to 2 days a week at a minimum, and I mean, you can understand why. We've got these two amazing Veluxes, which are actually dormer sets. They actually have the ability to open up, let that natural air in, and if it is too sunny and I am getting smashed with sun, I can actually even retract it completely to control the light in this space. So for me, I love it. And I guess the one thing that Steph did mention is, as you can see, we've worked with Fedwood to create this balustrade that lets the natural light come in from the skylight in the hallway. So in terms of materials, we matched the timber veneer with the joinery that we have downstairs in his wardrobe, and the carpet is a bit more homey, and it's a bit nicer to have on your feet when you're up here studying, working from home, the lot. Now, this is also Steph's little retreat area where she brainstorms, plans next drop for Japan the estate, and there's a few little teasers around the new materials, bed heads that are probably going to be launched later this year that we've been working very hard on amongst raising Aria as well. So in short, this is probably my favorite room in the house. It just gets so much use, and I'm so glad that the boys from Endeavour really pushed us to have this. We were umming and ahhing about it, and we came on site one day and Yusuf was like, look what I framed up for you guys. Do you want to go ahead with it? And we're like, absolutely. So grateful for that. But now we're gonna move into the rear of the house. It's where we got a little bit more modern with the design. We did a few cathedral ceilings, but I'm not gonna spoil too much. You're gonna see that now.
Okay.
Welcome to the entertaining area.
The executive producer is the, you know, wanting to be center stage.
Do you allow them to come in?
Yeah, come and see my home, baby. Oh my God. Welcome to the living room. So, cathedral ceilings, that soft curve that we were talking about before, but I think what really grounds this space is our fireplace from Stoke.
Yes, so we worked with Stoke to reinstate the old design of the fireplace. We went quite heritagey with it, but we actually mimicked the exact same design. And this is what you'd probably call our more formal living area.
Or the winter room, because
Yes.
we have a winter living room and then we have another summer room. So yeah, I feel like the way that we styled this is in accordance with that, having more of that mahogany sort of coloring coming through, and this beautiful courtyard which will take you outside.
Yes.
Sliding doors from Aspect, installed by Capital. These beautiful curtains from DIY again, that same recurring motif throughout the whole house. Our skylights, of course, bringing in that ample light.
And I think what I love about the skylights is that we can control the amount of light that comes in. They are all remote shutters, and they actually open as well if we want to let some more natural air in as well to air the house out.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that, and it's quite notable, is that the ceiling color is the same as the wall color here.
Yes.
So it's coffee hit from Taubman's, and we've done that intentionally so that it's a smooth sort of transition between the ceiling space and the wall space whenever you have a cathedral. I feel like that's the way to tackle that.
I guess that's our general rule of thumb. Wherever we've got a cathedral, we've like color drenched.
Yeah.
And where we have a flat ceiling, we went with milk cloud.
Welcome to Ilaria's garden. Yeah, mama. You're so cute. Yeah, we do call this Ilaria's garden because
It's growing as quickly as her.
Yes, that's a great point. We have beautiful passion fruit vines behind us.
Starting to climb. Our mandarins are finally starting to come out.
Yeah.
The limes, the peppers, the lemons as well. I know some people that have had lemon trees for like 3 years and like we haven't had one single lemon, whereas these are growing.
I know.
These are growing.
I know, yeah, it's been really, really good. I feel that down here needs a bit more love. That's okay. We can't perfect everything. But I do think that having a farm to table sort of environment or a space that just lends to that, you know, cooking experience, I think really is fun for kids. And that's what we wanted to do. But also, you know, really nice and grounding for us. And having this tactile sort of flooring in the pebbles is really gorgeous. And we have our stepping pads as well. This kind of showcases our extension probably the best to this space, I feel. You got it on this side and that side, and it's basically James Hardie's weatherboard connected to the house, contrasting yet complementing through the color tones. So yeah, we've
stained the bricks, and we've stained the bricks to match what we've done at the front of the home. So it's consistency. It gives the brick a bit of a liven up as well, while still respecting the heritage nature of it. And I think the changing of materials, like Steph said, really shows the old and the new really nicely.
Yeah. So we'll take you to the back garden through the kitchen But we'll continue on our walkthrough of the kitchen space. So you'll notice that this ceiling is lower. We've intentionally done that. It's a little bit more grounding in this room, a little bit more cozy. We have 2 spaces on either side, our winter and our summer living room, that have our cathedral ceilings. So again, in this space, what have we done? We've done the milk cloud ceiling. We, instead of painting the walls, we did them in micro cement. Now, this has been micro cemented because it is a cooking area, so we did want more of that render feel. It is a double brick home, so it really does further emphasize that. Our kitchen was done a long time ago, as you know, but it was more about adding those final finessey details. And to be honest, I actually can't believe that we managed to keep the kitchen in this condition during the renovation. But we made do. And I feel like because we worked on the show, we were able to move room by room and, work on work on the rest of the house. So I thought this was not so daunting, but if you were to tell me to renovate like that, I would say that you're nuts. But anyway, we did it. So yes, this kitchen we've spoken about time and time again. I think something that is super different is these skylights, and is the fact that we did continue this really beautiful ornamented cornice all the way around. Adding little sort of details and faster work on our external grills there, I think is really, really beautiful. And then having this fenestration as you walk through. into the pantry. The pantry is the pantry. I love it. It is perfect. Having these beautiful curtain details, which are from DIY, I think really elevates the space. All of our Smeg appliances are the perfect color, and they are got that bit of a shine. And usually I would like more gravitate to matte sort of thing, but I think when you have a bit of chrome or a bit of shiny things next to something that is quite matte, like our cabinetry, which is this safari suit Taubman sprayed color mixed with our Polytech wood, I think really adds like a really complementary palette. So, you know, also with our, you know, timber flooring from Carpentcourt, I think is like the perfect nods and these like little nodes and knots and details on that natural oak, which I think is pretty gorgeous. And then we combine all of these together. I will say having a Roman blind in this space softens it again. It's not that we want to like let the light out. We're never using this to go up or down. It's actually just about adding, you know, that layer of detail and softening into the space. Wall lighting, key always. Again, no downlights. It's a flat ceiling. One little downlight on the wall. That's it. Banquet seating, some bookshelf area, table. This is where all the mix happens. Literally. Okay, and then into this room. Now, why have I put a curtain? Again, I love putting curtains in the middle of rooms. I think that's actually quite dramatic. It adds drama, it adds coziness. And yeah, I feel that, you know, we just pull this away, and this is also our laundry space that is sort of concealed. So having that, you know, does be able to close this whole space off, and especially in a hotel. So this is our laundry. We do have a European laundry. I didn't stick myself in a room, and I purposely did that because I know that most of the time we are doing laundry almost every day. So why would I be in the makeshift toy area? This is going to be our toy area, and in the summer sort of living room. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Mama. She's so cute. Okay, so yeah, washer dryer, storage. We've got another TV there, a beautiful sitting space. This window sort of looking out into that garden. We've got that Roman blind again, always on our bar level, and a powder room. Okay. This bathroom here, you know, is a powder room. Yes, it's the addition. It's just a toilet with a sink, but we connected the materiality from this room to our Jack and Jill. Again, I really am further emphasizing our play on tiles. So the two tiles on the floor are not in this way. One of them is actually in that split, and the other one we cut in half. And it's just the way in which we laid it, which was like a little pattern. I think the other thing that we did was we continued our picture rail into this room, and we had this beautiful micro cement follow through again, which is this beautiful Taubman's wine barrel color. And I think this adds to those warm sort of tones that we see throughout decor in the house. So, you know, emphasizing that in that powder room. And it's not like a massive risk, like it's just our ceiling and it's up to that picture rail. But something that I did want to say is that I always include a Roman blind on a window in a bathroom. I think that we always forget about designing our bathrooms the way that we design the rest of the houses. They don't always have to feel super sterile. And people are like, oh, like, why would you put this in like a bathroom? But it's a nice touch. And I think it adds to the drama of this space. Beautiful symmetry, wall lighting in this room. Love it. No. Come on, Missy. Let Daddy speak about outside.
Okay. So this whole back area has been designed intentionally with a big sliding door because we're all about that inside-outside experience. So we have a flush transition, 0 steps. We're against steps, inside, outside. And we've honestly used this outdoor area so much over the summer, entertaining. There are 2 different cooking headquarters. The first one being the Weber barbecue that we've cladded so nicely in that same travertine tile that we used in our master and the front Jack and Jill ensuite. We thought it was nice to have that continuity inside and out. So not only have we done this at the barbecue area, we've also cladded the pool in it as well. There's such a big format tile. We'll see as we go down there that it creates such a luxe effect. And again, inside outside continuity is so important. So that's where we cook the steaks, that's where we do all the meats. And over here is our Polito pizza oven. So we were very meticulous about how we stacked all the timber, and we're always trying to keep it filled up. We've cooked so much here. We've done a lamb shoulder over Christmas. We did a pizzas as well on a number of occasions. It's so nice to entertain and actually have fun with it instead of just cook the same single dish. So we love that within this oven you can do anything. Veggies, meats, pizzas, you name it, it can be done. So soft curves again. We worked with Glazed Co on this soft curved radius for the pool fence. And then as we step down, again, the travertine tile treads with the limestone steppers, again, all about that continuity. And it literally feels like you are in Bali when you're down here. The bamboo has really taken off. It's loving this crazy Sydney weather, and we're all about it. We really wanted to invest in mature plants because, as you can see, we've probably only been in the house for 6 months, and it's like we've been here for a few years. So we're so glad that we worked with Exotic Nurseries on the planting choices, and again, Silver Spade to install them. Make sure there's enough drainage because we're in the inner west of Sydney. There's a lot of clay and we have had a lot of rain. So making sure that the drainage can soak up that rain and push that back up to the trees has been super important. And again, this is that tile cloud tile that I was talking about. It literally is a travertine look for the entire pool. And it's so nice having an above ground pool. It just feels like it's a bit of a statement piece. It's accessible from up there. And there's been nothing better than having the family over, people in the pool, people down here, just being able to use the landscaping and what we've done with the outdoor design to its full effect. So while you may have thought that we were done, we're never really done. There's always something happening. And having lived in the home for a little bit of time and it's starting to get a little bit cold, there is something that's gonna be happening just behind me. I can't talk about that too much yet. That'll probably be a bonus episode. And there's also something that is gonna be happening underneath the house that we're working on. I'm not gonna give a spoiler. That's probably gonna be a bit of a bonus episode, but hint, it involves wine and it involves cellar. So use your imagination.
I think the best part of the reno has been the fact that we've now created our family home, and obviously alongside with the pregnancy was born little Miss Alaria. So I feel that, you know, this home is more than just a house. It is a home. It is where we're growing our family. But we constantly have the renovating bug. We're like, where else can we go?
We're definitely always looking at what's next, but I think for now I'm pretty proud that we've been able to sit still for a bit.
Yes.
Just enjoy Alaria and her growth. My favorite part was just working at the speed that we worked, just knowing she had a deadline, being her birth. And having all the trades get around that. Like at the start, we're like, hey guys, we need to be in by October. And they're like, no, not happening. But then as they saw the pace that we were working at and our dedication to get it done, they were like, yeah, let's get it done.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So we couldn't have done it without them.
Massive shout out to Endeavour Constructions.
Literally.
Like they got us in, which we are so grateful for. So yeah, like it's been the best time, and I feel like it's led to an even better time. And I think that it's so worth investing in these little moments for your family. And we thank our past selves all the time walking through the house. We're sort of like, oh, thank God we created that, or thank God we pushed so hard as much as we did to be able to, you know, be able to settle just like that little bit.
Yeah.
And we've got loads happening with Japandi Estate, so we're not too far away from keeping you updated on everything, but it has been a pleasure taking you through. And like we said, like we said, she's gonna keep us on our toes for a bit, but we do have a few more little things we're gonna do around the house. So it's not goodbye, it is
bye for now.
Bye for now.